Well, Anna Bligh says it's an ugly time for Labor, but her election campaign continues. Chris O'Brien is travelling with the Premier in Cairns. Chris, the Premier kept a relatively low profile yesterday. What about today?
Jess, the second day in Cairns for the Premier, and as you say, after lunch yesterday, no public appearances. But she ventured out 3 times today. In Cairns this morning, lunchtime at Innisfail, and back to Cairns to a shopping centre this afternoon. The Bligh bus taking us here, there and everywhere. But as for her federal colleagues, as well as their impact on her state campaign, she had a strong message for them that they don't want Tony Abbott as Prime Minister. Day 6 of the state election, day 3 of the Rudd-ruction.
I said yesterday that I thought we were going to see some pretty ugly times ahead, and we're certainly seeing that.
With her deputy alongside her for the first time in the campaign, the Premier appealed to her federal colleagues.
Resolve this as quickly as possible, and when they've done that, to have the political maturity to then come back together as a team.
But no sympathy from the LNP.
The Premier is quite happy to play the victim at the moment.
Even if the Bligh campaign has fallen victim to the Canberra conflict, it was already facing an uphill battle in the polls. So Labor is keener than ever to talk about policy, to take at least some of the spotlight.
Queensland deserves to have an election campaign that is about Queensland's future.
However, there wasn't a great deal on offer. Today's promise in Cairns was $2 million to help a banana grower experiment with warm soil for year-round crops.
That if you drive innovation, you drive productivity and you drive prosperity.
And in Innisfail, the Premier pledged $2 million for the local library and community hub, which have been in temporary facilities since Cyclone Larry in 2006. She met a future voter.
Now folks, this is Zara. Zara was born during Cyclone Larry.
And a 96-year-old.
96.
Yeah, so 4 more years. 100. 4 more. 100.
She'd be happy with 3.
So, Chris, what happens to the state campaign after Monday's federal leadership ballot?
Jess, we asked the Premier if she'd welcome Kevin Rudd back onto her campaign if he loses on Monday. Diplomatically, the Premier answered that she'd welcome the assistance of any of her federal colleagues. Perhaps, Jess, the emphasis there on the word assistance rather than the hindrance they've been so far.
Chris O'Brien in Cairns, thank you.